Right. So have you ever like thought about a career in like drapery and carpet cleaning?
Because before you, like, wrinkle your
This
nose.
isn't just like pushing a vacuum around,
Right.
We're going to unlock some seriously surprising perks about this line of work.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
I love it. I love when we uncover those, like, hidden gem careers
Yeah,
that nobody really thinks about,
total.
but they're actually really cool.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
It
So
really
we're looking at RoleCatcher today, right?
Yes,
Which is a career platform.
that's right.
And what's fascinating to me is that there's like a career path here. It's not just like,
Right.
a job.
Yeah.
It's like you can move up, you can
This is a career,
Yeah.
not just a job.
a career.
Yeah.
So spill the tea. What are these hidden gems?
Okay, so RoleCatcher really dives into what a drapery and carpet cleaner actually does.
Okay.
And it goes way beyond just like basic cleaning.
Okay.
Think of it as specialized care for fabrics because the RoleCatcher guide highlights how these professionals need to analyze the fibers,
Well,
identify what type of stain it is,
interesting.
and then determine like the best cleaning methods for that.
So they can't just like go to town.
Right. They can't just like
With like,
throw some bleach on it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a lot more science to it than you would think.
It's like they're almost like fabric surgeons or
Yeah.
something.
They really are.
Yeah.
It's very technical.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell me more about this career path.
Oh,
Like,
right.
what is it? What does it look like?
Well, you could work solo,
Yeah.
like with residential clients,
Okay.
or you could join a team and do like large scale commercial projects.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So there's a lot of different ways to go about it.
Okay, so I'm intrigued, but like,
Yeah.
let's talk practicality.
Okay.
What's the earning potential? Like,
Okay.
can I make a living doing this?
Yes. So RoleCatcher points to a really positive employment outlook for this field,
Right.
and it's only increasing in demand.
Really?
Yeah, and you can earn a really good living doing this, especially if you specialize.
Specialize. Like, how do you specialize
Yeah.
in drapery cleaning?
Yes.
Okay.
So think like eco-friendly cleaning solutions
Right.
for people who are like environmentally conscious.
Right.
Right. Or restoring delicate vintage fabrics. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
niche for everything.
Like antique rugs and things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so there's a lot of room to specialize and kind of make it your own.
Okay, so high demand, specialized skills, potential for high earnings.
Yes.
I'm starting to see the appeal here,
Right,
but
right.
what about the downsides?
Of course.
There's got to be some, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking here?
Yeah, no job is perfect.
Right.
And RoleCatcher doesn't shy away from the challenges.
Okay.
This job can be physically demanding for sure.
Right.
And you will have to deal with some difficult clients.
Right. And the chemicals
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be, they have to be careful.
Kind of rough on your
Yeah.
skin and your lungs and everything.
Yeah. And that's something that RoleCatcher really stresses is the importance of taking those precautions, using your safety gear, understanding chemical safety.
Right.
All of that is really, really important.
Yeah.
But I think that actually kind of leads into a good point,
Okay.
which is that learning how to handle those difficult situations, those difficult clients,
Okay.
that is a skill that you can take with you to any job,
Right. Totally.
So learning those communication skills is really important.
Yeah, I like how you frame that.
Yeah.
It's like those challenges are really opportunities
Exactly.
to like build skills
Yes.
that you can then use
Yes.
in other areas of your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've established this isn't your like average cleaning gig, right?
It's not.
It requires expertise.
Mm-hmm.
You said there's a business savvy involved, especially if you go solo. Are there actual like career progression opportunities?
Yes.
Like, can you move up in the world
Yes.
of drapery and carpet cleaning?
You can. Yes. So RoleCatcher has a whole section
Okay.
on career stages.
Cool.
So you would start as an assistant,
Okay.
gain experience, learn the ropes,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can progress to independent cleaning,
Okay.
maybe even lead a team
Oh, wow.
or specialize in a high demand area like we were talking about.
Right?
And they actually have an example profile of a senior drapery and carpet cleaner
Oh, cool.
who started as an assistant. And now he trains new hires and stays updated on all the new technology.
So you're not just stuck in the same routine forever.
Right.
There's room to grow. There's room to learn.
You can really make it a career.
Yeah, you can like carve out your own niche.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's very cool.
This is starting to sound less like cleaning and more like career crafting.
Exactly.
Okay,
Wow.
so how do you actually break into this field?
Okay, well, that is where the tools on RoleCatcher come in really handy.
Okay.
They can help you build a really great CV or resume,
Okay.
and they even have AI-powered interview prep
What?
to give you a leg up.
AI for a cleaning interview.
I know.
That's amazing.
Right. It's very core.
Tell me more about these interview tips.
Okay.
Okay. So AI-powered interview tips, right?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of questions am I going to get asked?
Yeah.
And how do I knock it out of the park?
So RoleCatcher really stresses showcasing your passion for this work
Okay.
and really showing that you know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Right? Like you have the expertise.
So it's not enough to just like clean a carpet.
Right.
I got to like
You have to be able to talk about it.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example, a common question they say is, describe your experience in drapery and carpet cleaning,
Okay.
which sounds kind of basic,
Right.
but a lot of people just give like a list of like, I vacuumed.
Yeah.
I dusted.
I cleaned. Yeah.
Like nobody wants to hear that.
Right. It's boring.
Yeah.
So how do you make that exciting?
Right. So you got to bring it to life. You got to give examples,
Ooh.
Stories, anecdotes. So like, for example, did you ever like rescue a really valuable rug from like a red wine spill?
Right.
Like tell that story.
Yep.
Or if you mastered a difficult like upholstery cleaning technique,
Oh, yeah.
talk about that.
Right.
Show them that you're not just like mindlessly cleaning, you're like problem solving.
Right. You're invested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're thinking about it. You're not just like, oh, there's a stain, whatever.
Right. It's like those aha moments.
Exactly.
Right. Like where you're like, I know what to do.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what about the questions that are like more technical?
Right.
Like, how do you get a really bad ink stain out of a silk carpet?
Right.
Asking for a friend.
Well, RoleCatcher actually has a whole section on that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so they go into detail about different cleaning techniques, like using enzyme cleaners for organic stains, solvent-based cleaners for grease,
Okay.
even delicate methods for antique fabrics.
Wow. So you have to like really know your stuff?
Yes, and you have to be able to like articulate it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not enough to just like do it.
Right, you can't just be like, I don't know, just use this thing.
Right. Like it works. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be like, this is why I use this.
Right. Like this is the chemical reaction that's happening.
Yes, exactly. You
Yes.
have to know what you're talking about.
So like talk nerdy to me.
Yes.
But for stain removal.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Okay. And they also talk about like staying updated on trends in the industry.
Oh.
So like knowing about new eco-friendly cleaning solutions,
Oh, cool.
new equipment that's out
Oh, wait.
that shows that you're really invested.
It shows that you're passionate.
Yeah.
It's like you're showing up to a date with like
Yes.
a fresh perspective.
With new information.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So what about those questions? Like,
Yes.
tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult client.
Ooh, yeah.
Like those always make me sweat
Right.
a little bit.
Right. And those are really common
Yeah.
in these types of interviews
Yeah.
because you are dealing with clients one-on-one
Right.
a lot of the time.
So what's their advice?
So they say to focus on the process.
Okay.
So don't just tell them like a horror story about a client,
Right.
which I'm sure we all have,
Right.
but walk them through how you would listen to the client,
Okay.
investigate the issue, and then come to a resolution.
Oh, so you're showing them how you problem solve
Exactly.
by telling the story.
Yes.
Oh, that's very clever.
Yeah.
It's like you're turning a negative
Right.
into a positive
Exactly.
because you're highlighting your...
skills, your
Yes.
communication,
Yeah.
your problem solving.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Those are good tips.
And it applies to any job.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just this.
It's not just about the cleaning.
No.
Yeah.
It's about like being able to handle any situation,
Yeah.
which is a great skill.
Totally.
Okay.
Okay, so I love that. And it seems like
Yeah.
RoleCatcher really knows what they're doing here.
They do.
Because they're not just giving generic advice.
Right.
It's like they're using AI to personalize it.
Yes. And they actually have
It's just really cool.
a feature where you can like practice your answers
Oh, wow.
and it will like critique them.
What? No way.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's very cool.
But it's like having a little interview coach
Yeah.
in your pocket.
I know, right?
That's really cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So even with all of these tools and all of these tips, right,
Mhm.
some people might still be hesitant
Right.
to consider a career in this.
Right.
Like, what would you say to those people?
I would say don't underestimate the power of practical skills. Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like we live in a world that's very like, go to college, get a fancy job.
Right.
But like, there's something to be said for learning a trade
Right.
and like having those practical skills
Totally. Yeah.
that you can use.
Oh.
And there's definitely a demand for it. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not going to be out of work
Right.
if you know how to clean a carpet.
Exactly.
Right. It's almost like you said a minute ago, right?
It's a trade.
Yeah,
And you're right.
it is.
We do live in a world that's very much
Go to college, get a fancy job, and
Mhm.
there's something to be said. There's
for those practical skills that you can
Yeah.
actually use and make a living.
Yeah.
And you brought up the eco-friendly aspect of it earlier.
Right.
Is that like a growing niche in this field?
It is. Yeah, people
Right.
are becoming way more conscious about the products they use in their homes and their businesses.
Right.
And so if you can offer eco-friendly solutions, that's a huge selling point.
So it's not just about cleaning, it's about like
Right.
being environmentally responsible.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's a win-win.
Well,
Totally. Yeah.
So it seems like this line of work requires you to stay like
Adaptable and like informed about new technologies and trends.
Yes, definitely. Because the cleaning industry,
Right.
just like any industry, is always evolving.
Right.
So there are always new products.
Hmm?
Techniques are being refined.
Yeah.
Client preferences change.
Right.
So you got to stay on top of it.
It's a constant learning process, it sounds like.
Yes, it is.
Which is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not just like you'll learn it once and you're done.
Right. It's not stagnant.
Yeah.
You're always growing.
Yeah. It's like a constant journey of like,
Exactly. Your career.
not just a job.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
It is.
I like it.
Yeah. And that's where like those resources like
Yeah.
RoleCatcher can be really helpful.
Because they give you that guidance and
Mhm.
support and all that information you need.
Yeah. It's like having like a career
Yes.
GPS.
I love that.
Right. Like it's like,
Yeah.
this is how you get from point A to point B.
Yes.
And like avoid those dead ends and,
Right.
find those like little hidden gems along the way.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
So if you could leave the listener with like,
One like big takeaway.
Yeah.
What would it be?
I would say, don't underestimate the power of practical skills.
Okay.
Like you can really,
Yeah.
you can make a great living
Mm-hmm.
doing something that you're good at,
Totally.
that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And that is in demand.
And you're learning.
And you're constantly learning.
Yeah. Constantly like.
Better yourself.
Yes. Exactly.
That's great.
It's a great field to be in.
Well, that's awesome.
I
Love it.
Yes.
This was a really interesting deep dive.
It was.
I love that we do these
Me too.
because it's like really eye-opening to see like
These jobs that we might not
necessarily think about our day-to-day lives.
Yes, and that they're like viable careers.
Right. And that you can like
Yes.
make a living doing this.
Absolutely.
And that there's room for growth and
all that good stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This was awesome.
Yeah, this is fun.
And yeah, until next time, keep those minds curious.
And those career goals sparkling clean.
Yes, I love it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.